Good morning, YouTube.
Good morning.
It might be a little chilly.
Might be like 38 degrees.
Yeah, and it's warming up from
to 58.
Yeah, but it warmed up to 38.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Okay, so there's cold snaps in Florida, especially where we're at. We need to be more south, no doubt about
sure.
it. I'm more concerned about tomorrow. This time tomorrow, a little bit earlier than this time tomorrow, which currently it's 8 o'clock. We're running a little bit behind. It'll be a wind chill of upper 20s, because the wind's blowing a little bit more than it is today. So the deal is we got to take the truck and drop it off at the shop so they can do the airbags. And yeah, so we need to get going. I'm freezing. Look, Sully, it's not the baggy, but
It's close.
it's close. So you guys can see the truck is in its resting place. We're going to go ahead and have him do the work on this. And in the meantime, Heidi wants to go see if we're going to want to do this state park that's relatively close. So we'll bring you along. We'll see what it's like. It's still very chilly out. But I got some breakfast. Did you get breakfast?
I just had coffee.
So Heidi's going to destroy herself somehow by not having enough food in her.
I can't eat that early.
Well, I don't like to eat that early,
Never
but
been able to.
you're going to be noon in the middle of a park going, God, I need something to eat.
Maybe I'll find something to eat before we go there.
All right, so it does, the park that we're going to is Lake Griffin, but we're going to check it out. We don't know if we're going to, because of the temperature right now, we don't know if we're going to want to pay, because you do pay to get into this place, and walk around and just be freezing our butts off. The sun is coming up. It is Florida, so let's see what happens. All right, so we're at a place called Farron Park, and the wind is crazy, so I don't think you're going to get much commentating out of us, which a lot of you guys like that. You'd rather just see the scenery. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to flip you guys around and just show you the park. And we're in Lake Eustis, and I don't even know what lake this is, but it's a nice park. It looks nice. This is Lake Eustis, so just wasting some time and checking out some sights. It is cool, very, very cool. Ooh, $500 fine for cast net fishing. Little trailer park over there right on the water. That'd be kind of nice, but the wind is just coming right in our face. Heidi said something about going swimming. I heard that you can walk across the lily pads. Why don't you try it?
Why don't you try it?
Not sure why they got so many pilings here. I guess boats could dock here. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, they got tie-offs. There's a light. It is not exactly warm today, but I don't think we could be doing this in Ohio right now. How about, yeah, Lake Milton? Went to Lake Milton. That was a cold trip. If you guys didn't see, we just stopped there for a brief little, I don't know, whatever howdy do of the park. Looks like a nice park for the kids. I just put up her hood. It's definitely cold. It is definitely cold. I just got the baggy jacket on. That and 50 pounds too much weight. Somebody left their lunch apparently. Ooh, there's a little floating dock. Let's go ride the dock. Looks like a fun ride. Want to try it out? There's water actually splashing up here, which should be interesting. I don't know, a lot of the people that are... ooh, it's a little rough out here. Get my sea legs. There's a lot of waterfront here that is developed. I mean, that's kind of nice. This would be a good place to come down for lunch, that's for sure. If it was nice, warm weather out. But just a city park. Got a fountain over there. Maybe we'll walk over to the fountain after this. And I don't know if you guys are hearing all this wind. I know the microphone on this camera has a buffer on it, but I don't know if it's handling this very well. Wow, it's a heck of a Christmas tree. There's some sort of a stage over there. That's kind of cool. They put on plays or whatever, I'm sure. So we'll head over here and take a look at the fountain and get back in the sun. I love these old trees. We got a lot of lights up in the trees. They decorate this whole park, it looks like, for Christmas. The flamingos dressed for Christmas. Okay, we're going to Lake something something. How do you say the name? Okahumpka. Okahumpka. Tax dollars, whatever. It said something about how it was put together. But yeah, this is the park. We'll show you what it looks like here in a little bit, but we got to get something to eat. We picked up some HEIDIs because we were right next to them, and we haven't had HEIDIs forever. I can't even remember the last time we had HEIDIs. Can you? Nope. Okay, we're gonna go down here and park, and we'll pick this up in a bit. All right, guys, so here's the park overlay, and it's really nice that they've got a really big photo of this. I know it's a lot of glare going on here. Shows us where we're at, shows us the trails, and then it tells you what color to follow. I can kind of see the red and the green. I definitely see the blue, so I should be able to find it. Heidi says that she's not going to tell me, and I got to figure it out. Ain't that right, Heidi? Bring you along and show you some of the highlights through the park. Okahumpka. I have no idea what that means.
You have to look that up.
Have to look it up. There's a lot of walkers through here. Lots. I think we should be a sitter. Can we take a break now?
No, you need a break.
Okay, so it says stop. Not sure why, because you're not supposed to have any bikes on the thing, right? What is it? It's kind of weird.
See either way, so I don't know if
Okay. I'm not going to walk you through the whole park like we did the other one, because it's a little bit longer. Ooh, some kind of exercise station. Step up routine, it says. Cool. This is some kind of a disc golf course or something through here. But look at this big hole that's in the tree. And we just seen the biggest snake go into this thing. I'm kidding. What kind of fern is that? That's wild. And then I think these are bat boxes. It's kind of what they look like in Ohio at some of the parks we've seen. I don't know, maybe it's something else here, but there's a lot of birds here. You can hear them throughout. And then all these trees forgot to shave. So we are 5/10 of a mile. We're halfway through. Oh, I barely can make it. Barely can make it. It gives me a bench. There's not a lot of people on these trails. You notice that? Yeah. Which I find is really odd because most people that I know that live in Florida always say that during the summer you can't do nothing. You can only do stuff in the morning and in the evenings. Which is absolutely true. And then they always say, you know, in the winter though, it's nice. It's relatively nice. Now, granted, today's kind of cold. What's the temperature you think today?
It's supposed to be like
60.
58.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the case, but it's definitely better than home when we've got, how many inches of snow at home?
There wasn't that much.
There wasn't, right. We're supposed to get another 3 inches, I guess, but, and we don't see hardly anybody out here. Hardly at all. So, this is my exercise. Finishing my ice with my HEIDIs. Because that's a chore within itself. Ooh, it's new, Hyde. We're back in the safety of the car from all the wild creatures we encountered.
0.
Some birds. But the walk's pleasant. It's nice enough. It's quiet, except for when you get close to the highway. Hardly any people out here. I think that there's just a lot of parks like this around here. It's got to be.
Might be, I don't know.
From what I gather, it's... I just expect it to be more popular than this. Now, with that said, it's Tuesday, just after noon, and there are a decent amount of cars here now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we got a few cars here. But it was enough exercise for me. What I ate at HEIDI's, I probably worked off half the French fries, and that was it. That's something, if you guys ever think, I ever heard people talk about diets and that, talking about, oh, calories, I'm gonna cut back, or they say I'm gonna go have a big piece of pie, but I'm gonna work out extra long. You need to look at how many calories is in food and how much exercise you have to do to burn off calories. Listen, I'm the first one to say I don't say no usually to the plate, whatever's on it. I don't push it away like I should.
We just did a little over 1.5 miles.
So we burned almost 1,000 calories, so it says. My sandwich, my meal, was 1,300 calories. So that gives you an idea. I mean, I'd have to go walk it again. And even then, I mean, I'm not walking at any brisk pace to do any good. But it's better than sitting. I mean, definitely better than sitting. Got a lot of fresh air. Got a lot of COVID air.
We weren't around anybody.
Yeah, we weren't around anybody. We
if
passed.
that's the truth.
Yeah, we passed 4 people, right?
Yeah,
I think 4.
3 or 4 people.
The bathrooms here are clean. They're maintained well. Everything worked inside of them. That was awesome. And yeah, it's a nice park overall. Everything is really nice. There's one bench that was broken. Other than that, it looks nice. It looks well taken care of.
There was actually a guy that, when you were in the bathroom, that came back with his trimmers. So maybe he was trimming a walkway or something that we didn't see. But he had 2 different types of pruners, I guess you call them. It was an older gentleman. He didn't come back with any branches or anything.
Huh.
So maybe he walks this every day. And
Or, since this is Florida, he could have just committed a murder out there.
murders happen everywhere.
It does, but Florida has some weird ones. Who, an old guy with a pair of pruning shears in a park.
Never know.
Yeah. The other thing I see down here a lot, which is awesome. I understand it. My grandfather had a stroke when he was 50. He was about my age, I think, when he had his heart attack. It wasn't a stroke. He had a heart attack. And then he had a quadruple bypass when he was 50. I don't know. He was in his 50s. I think it was late 50s, maybe. And yeah, he's pretty much in his late 50s. And my grandfather wasn't overly heavy. He wasn't obese, nothing like that. It's just a hereditary thing we have in our family for the most part. And I remember him, walking to build, because back then they took the veins out of your legs to, give you new arteries for your bypass on your heart.
That's what they did to your dad too, right?
I think so. But
my grandmother.
he, and then they tell you to walk for your legs to build up the other, the arteries and veins that are still left in your legs to make new paths for the blood flow that's needed. And he used to walk all the time. And I thought that was awesome. He obviously took his health seriously. He still died, when he was like 67, but again, in better shape than I am. Less weight, less body to fat. Yeah. So the thing that we see down here a lot is guys that obviously have had strokes and they are walking. There's lots of those guys that are walking that have strokes. And even just a few seconds ago when we was talking to you,
I had 2 people that come into my work that were really, they obviously had some bad strokes, and I always thought it was cool. One came in with a Range Rover, and he was always looking for parts, and then the other one would always come in his Corvette, and he could barely walk, but he's out doing it.
Yeah, I think that Florida, I said this, if you go back to our 2017 trip to Florida, when we were at Ocean View, no, not Ocean View, what's the one in Ormond Beach we were at? I can't remember what it was. Coral Sands. When we were at the Coral Sands RV park in Ormond Beach, which was right on the beach, it was awesome. I had mentioned on one of those videos when we were there that I can't believe how many people we seen walking and how many old people we seen walking. And it's feasible. It's feasible for you to walk to the store and do that every day if you need to.
Yeah.
I think that Florida, as far as that aspect's concerned, is a healthier place to be. Now, we were in here in the middle of the summer too, so
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of you are saying, "Oh yeah, you walk to the store. You don't want to do that in the middle of the summer, though." Well, it was the middle of the summer when we seen all those people walking.
Yep.
Some people do it just out of necessity, but I can't imagine that happening in Ohio. People do it in the cities,
Right.
But and the same here. I don't see people out in the middle of the country walking, but still,
Walking 5 miles to town.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna head back to, I guess, the campground now. It is 2 o'clock, and at some point, I'm expecting a call for the truck to be done and that we can pick it up, but that could be 6 o'clock tonight. I have no idea. We got back to our campsite and Heidi scared all the people away. She said, "Get out of here." No, I'm kidding. But yeah, these guys are gone. So we have all this. And we do have a new neighbor over here. This is a different neighbor than what we had before. So it's kind of different. I didn't expect all these people to be gone. That big monstrosity's still here. But people come, people go. And in this time, well, people have gone. So here we are, just passing the villages, and we got some kind of hoopla going on down here. It's a road we were just on earlier, twice. This guy's more important than us. This is not a zipper merge. This is people seeing that that lane is closed. Well, it was closed. And now they decide they're going to get over. You know why? Because they're more important than us. Get up down. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. That kid's young. Oh, and the fire truck was involved. Not good. And there's the thing that hit him. Not good. And there is another thing that hit him.
That may have caused it.
Yeah, that could have caused it.
I mean, I'm not
Now I think about it.
That.
Yeah, you know what probably happened? The trailer come loose maybe and hit those two things.
Could have.
Yeah, could have. Okay. It is more than cold. Whenever you have days that are like really, really warm out and then it gets really, really cold out, ask Heidi. It's like twice as bad. I mean, it's, you know, acclimated. Look at this. Where's our ice scraper? I'm kidding. You don't need an ice scraper for this. We're from the north. You just spray your washer fluid on there and then you're done. But the fact that we have this ice buildup kind of tells us, though, how good our windows are. I will have to say, if we come around to the other side, I don't want to disturb the guy that's next door, so I'm not going to talk on his side, but if you come around, you can see ice ever so slightly right there. Now that's on the inside edge of the window, and it's not ice, it's just kind of like a little bit of a frost. Wonder what those splatters are. Probably off the tree. Oh yeah, it's definitely off the tree up above there. So the reason that I'm coming out here, I wanted to show you our final product on the airbags. So let me get my little thing that want to come loose. Pad to come down here. Let me get that real quick. And this will be the first time I get to see it, tell you the truth. I kind of looked at it through the wheel well, but I didn't get underneath here and look. So let's see what kind of ants I can get on me while I'm under here. Alright, so there's the product. You can see here the airbag is mounted up inside, and essentially, wow, those are thick. Essentially, what we have here is a just a 5,000 pound helper spring. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Now again, the reason that I had a problem with the other ones is they're not for the FX4 package, and the FX4 package has this jounce tongue that kind of angles out as it comes down. Instead of straight down and straight out, it kind of angles down. So it's kind of nice the way that they've got this. I will have to say that it looks like, for me, that the inside lip is slightly inboard on the bracket. And I know that you guys probably can't see this, but anyways, overall, I'm happy with the installation. We got plenty of room here. It's an air pump situation, so it does inflate on its own. It does have an app. I can do it through my phone if I'd like. And the pump, noisy. It's a noisy pump. I'll be the first to say that. But if you have an FX4 package on an F250 or an F350, this is the kit that you'll have to install. And it looks pretty straightforward. I don't think that this kit installation is anything crazy. But the fact that I didn't want to be working on the truck necessarily at the campground, that sometimes brings up a little bit of discouragement from the people at Thousand Trails. You know, this isn't a workshop. What I'm doing now is I'm coming to the passenger side, not so much to show you the airbag, but so I can see where this pump is. It's on the inside of the frame, and it's right here. So this is the all-in-one. It's a pump. It's pretty decent installation. Did have to use holes in the frame. You can see here. But yeah, it's done. That's the best part. So yeah, I can see that this bracket is not quite at the angle that the other bracket is. Still pretty good. Yeah, not bad. This one I think is a little bit more straight up and down than the other one. But the metal's so big it doesn't make a difference. So the best part about it, again, is the air pump portion of things. And now that I have the air pump there, we can do all of the up and down that we need with the remote. So this remote here, you know, just hangs on your visor. It's like a garage door. You can see it's got a couple presets. One's at 5, that's this one here, and then one up here it's just set at 20. But I can manually up and down as low as 5. You don't want to be less than 5 when you're traveling at any time. I can go up to 100. Of course, we don't need that for what we're running into now with you know, our travel trailer, and especially, as I said before, the weight distribution. That's a huge thing. But you do need to have more than just 5 in there if you're doing a 5th wheel. And then this is the part of the kit that's going back. As far as the installation, he did a great job. It was quick. We did leave it there for the whole day basically. And then manual inflation valve is right here. So that's kind of nice if you have to fill up because you have a problem with the pump. The other reason I'm coming out here, and I'm reopening this again, is the old kit has to go back. We have to send the old kit back. It's all taken care of via what do you want to call it, the Summit Racing, where we purchased it, based on the fact that the kit doesn't work for my application. So what I need to do is I need to get these brackets and the bags and everything in this one box, seal the box off real well, and it will go back at their expense, and I'll get my money back on this. It's a shame that it didn't work, because I did like the kit. It was so simple to install. That was the best part. Just really simple to install. But It just wasn't the right one for this truck. I'm gonna go talk to Heidi, see what she says. Oh man, I can't believe how cold it is. And now I'm sure the camera's fogging up. How was your sleep last night?
Yeah, it was broken up.
Were you cold?
No.
Yeah, I was never cold. We didn't even have the furnace but set on like 70 or something, right?
It was higher than that. I got up and lowered it to 70. Hot.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, by the way, our awning's a no-go until maybe we get to Orlando. Just to give you a heads up. We have our reasons, but I just wanted to let you guys know. That's why you don't see the awning. We have the awning. Looks really nice, right?
It's fancy.
It's fancy. Yeah, it's fancy. Fancier than what we have. I just want it to be better than what we have.
Hopefully it'll roll up better.
Yeah. So, what do we have going on from this point forward? Other than returning those parts, we got to do some grocery shopping. And Heidi has a question for all the Floridians down here, and it has to do with toilet paper.
Quit hoarding it.
What's the deal?
I can't find any.
I mean, Ohio...
And when I say I can't find any, I can't find what we use, which is Scott One Ply, because we've never had any issue in RVs. But that's all we've ever used. And
yes, we know about the Walmart.
I already did last week. I think we were at 4 stores. I ended up with a 4-pack because I know you've probably seen that. I went to like 4 different stores and ended up at Publix. So I got 2 4-packs and a 3-pack of paper towels. And I could pick one of the 3, which is stupid. But then I went into that Publix like a week later and they have none. It's just ridiculous. I went to Walmart because we were told that Walmart had
a 1 or 2 ply.
Yeah, they had some toilet paper, and I get there and they have Angel Soft, which is probably 3 ply. It might not be. It's probably 2 ply. But we don't use that, and that is so thick that it definitely would clog up the black tank in no time. So anyway, it's probably happening across the U.S.
Is it? Is it happening back home?
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody posting it, but
which I understand.
It already happened back when I was working.
Yeah.
Because I had that customer. I said, "Hey," he said he worked at Walmart, and I said, "Oh gosh," I said, "You guys have Scott toilet paper?" And he said, "Yeah," and he left. And then we were busy, and he came back with a 12-pack of toilet paper, and he told me to have a nice day, which was super nice of him.
Right.
I thought that was
But
really
that was
nice.
the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was concerned and panic and bread, milk, and toilet paper.
Well, that goes
and they
back
were hoarding.
to a video that we watched about the ignition coil on the truck.
Oh, yeah.
People, they read something, they watch something, and then they're in a panic. They got to be in a panic. So they're going to go buy up whatever they can get their hands on, which is a little irritating. Spend a lot of money on Amazon and get toilet paper and then have to stuff it in every little spot that we have.
Yeah, Amazon has the toilet paper, but of course it's real expensive. And mainly it's because there's places that don't have it. And of course the shipping, because it's bulky, costs a little bit more for them to ship it to us for free, which is built into the price. But going back to something Heidi just talked about, we get our recalls on our vehicles. We know what's going on with our vehicles. And I'm glad that a lot of people said, "Hey, did you hear about?" Yeah, I did hear about. And that was the whole spark plug thing on the truck. The problem with that is that the people that I'm not going to say anything because it's a realm that I don't really think about us being in. But unfortunately, there's people out there that have really good YouTube channels, things we watch all the time. But it's almost like irresponsible journalism. And I understand that they're trying to be informative and on the edge and let everybody know right away what they have experienced and what they have heard. But the sample that is being taken can't be broadcast in a way that it put it out of context. So, for example, what I'm saying here is if we had, let's say, this toilet paper issue, and I'm talking about it right now and saying, listen, I don't know what's going on, but we can't get toilet paper anywhere. All of our viewers, you know, within just a few days, we're going to have about 2,200 views on this video. Everybody's going to go, holy cow, I'm calling my husband. Hey, when you leave work, stop by and get toilet paper.
Yep.
And this person might be in Nevada or you know, Canada or something. And here we've kind of incited a panic based on what we just said. Listen, I'm just talking about Central Florida, near the villages. For whatever reason, everybody wants to buy toilet paper and hoard it, and the shelves are bare, and I don't get it.
I think you can go back about a month or two, and every once in a while somebody had said, and don't go panic buying toilet paper. Well, that's all it takes.
Yeah. As soon as anybody sees that, oh, maybe I should be buying toilet paper, and even if they didn't, it's in the back of their head, and they go to the store, and they're walking down the aisle, and they're like, oh, hey, this store has toilet paper.
Remember, when you don't have any money, they won't return your toilet paper.
Yeah.
Quit overbuying.
This store has toilet paper. I don't need any, but you know what? That person I heard the other day say something about it, so maybe it's a wave, and it's going to come here. It's just like, oh, my God, gas prices are going up. Yeah. So now everybody's going to go, you know, drive and get gas.
What cracks me up is toilet paper and paper towels are not the same thing.
Right.
Who would put paper towels in your toilet?
Well, push comes to shove, and we lived in the city. That's paper towels down the toilet are fine. Right.
Good for them, but
well, that's who would do it. Yes, who's doing it. So the thing I'm getting at is with the truck. Getting back to, we had a report on one of the YouTube channels that's, like I said, a very good YouTube channel. We enjoy it immensely. But they said something about our truck, the 7.3, and it had a spark plug issue. And they mentioned like 5 other examples that, or maybe even less, that they heard of. And I think that there might have been another 10 comments on their video that said that maybe there was a problem. So we're talking about maybe, and I'm going to exaggerate here, 50 people, 50, that had anything to do with comments or anything like that had a problem with their coil on their their spark plug wire on their 7.3 gasser truck like ours, the 2020.
It's a coil plug.
No, it's got a spark plug wire. It's got a short spark plug wire.
No, there's
coils on each right above, but there's a wire, an actual replaceable wire for each coil going to each plug.
Oh yeah, like all the others.
So the thing is the when they reported that, guess what everybody did? Including me. Holy cow, I better order an extra spark plug wire. So I ordered a spark plug wire from a dealer that was in Florida, even though we were in Ohio at the time. And within a couple days, they canceled my order and said, we don't have these, we don't know when we're going to get them in. It was on a national back order because everybody and their brother seen that video, and they said, you know, oh, I got a 7.3, I better order those. When it come right down to it, I kind of, you know, looked in reflection and thought, why did I do that? I don't have a problem with my spark plug wire. If I do, it's just a spark plug wire. Why don't I just carry an extra spark plug wire, an extra coil wire? Because it's better than nothing, because there was some fear that the truck just completely fails whenever the one spark plug wire goes out. And I figured we'd be towing, so I do. I have one coil wire that I have in the back of the truck that would work, you know, in a pinch. But again, it incited a panic of some kind. Now I'm going to tell you about another panic that's being incited, and again, another YouTube channel, great YouTube channel. We don't necessarily watch it, but it's a good YouTube channel that does very well. And because of a video just posted the other day, please don't start asking me about the death wobble, because that is so far in between. if we have a problem with it, we'll talk about it. Yes, Ford actually has a safety recall on certain trucks for that death wobble. I don't know how many of them's F-350s, but the situation is so bizarre that it has to happen in. I've heard that you have to be loaded, not towing, but loaded. So you have to have stuff in your truck for it not to happen. You know, for guys that have like work trucks and stuff like that, or utility beds on their trucks and ambulances, stuff like that, they don't ever experience the death wobble. It's the ones that have bigger trucks that are lightly loaded, that aren't at the weight that the truck is kind of designed to carry, or can carry. So in this situation, the YouTube channel had, they were towing their travel trailer. The travel trailer is obviously not even close to heavy enough to put that truck under any kind of a test, and they had a death wobble of some kind. I'm sure it was an issue, but listen, for you, the guys that don't know what vehicles are or how they work or operate as far as the mechanic sides of things, a death wobble just has to do with the steering and the suspension on the front and it not being adequate for the road condition. So it's either an alignment issue, a tire wear issue, or it's some kind of a steering geometry issue and component issue. The fact that nobody really gets these trucks with, and they're out on the road, and in the first 400 miles they hit a chuck hole and all of a sudden they have a death wobble, should tell you usually it's when they get into the 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 40,000 mile range, you know, moving up, when components could start to wear. When components start wearing, that's whenever that death wobble happens. And it's basically, there's something that's just lacking on the steering suspension. It's not the end of the world. It's not like the vehicle is going to break in half, you know, at some point in time. It's very unsafe. Don't get me wrong, that whole death wobble is very unsafe. But the fact that the people treat it like coronavirus and say, oh my God, I'm going to get it and there's nothing I can do about it and I can't believe it. I can't believe it's happening and I'm at the mercy of Ford. You're not. You just take it into a good suspension shop, and you do what's needed to fix the problem. There's always something that is needed somewhere that's causing that death wobble. So I just wanted to throw it out there, and the reason I'm talking about it is because a video just went up 2 or 3 days ago, and they talked about death wobble in their Ford F-250 Super Duty, and it's relatively new, and I'm sure everybody's going to say, Mike, did you hear about the death wobble they're having? Because, you know, you guys are good. You want to let us know. You want to warn us. I'm not worried about that. If it happens, it happens, and that'll be something that we'll shoot video on at some point, but we're not going to cause a panic. That stuff happens all the time. There's all kinds of crap like that. Oh my God, they have a problem with their fuel tanks leaking. You know, and all of a sudden everybody's in a panic and they're trying to buy fuel tanks. So, all right, we ranted on enough about this. We're closing out the video. And cold Florida, but that's it for a while. I don't think we're going to have this cold snap again for a while. We have at least 10 days that the lowest it gets is into the upper 40s. I'm sorry, the lower 40s. I think we get into the lower 40s. So last night, just to put it under, you know, get you guys lined up with what actually happened. Last night, the temperature dropped to 33 degrees at our location, an actual 33 degrees. It felt like 27 with the wind chill, which was just a slight wind, but the humidity down there is high enough that that little bit of a wind with that cold, I mean, you can feel the moisture in the air even when it's this cold. So, yeah, we had a chilly night, and it's still a chilly morning, but that's it. We'll be into the lower 60s today. So, I mean, that's essentially it. And yesterday wasn't bad. I mean, you've seen, you know, we went to the I mean, the water that was, or the wind that was coming across that water, everything was cold, but I mean, you still went outside, you could still enjoy yourselves. And we didn't have, Heidi just had this sweatshirt on, and I just had this pullover thing on, or the baggy, the semi-baggy. All right, tell everybody what we're going to do or what you need to do.
As always, we hope to see you out here. Bye.
Bye.